Hello, welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and welcome to my channel where I share tips and ideas and basically whatever I learn in my sketchbook practice, because drawing makes me super happy and I want that for you too. So that is my mission. And currently I am in the middle of a challenge of drawing a still life over and over again in different ways, different approaches with different tools. And I'm doing that because that way I learn. I don't need to think about what to draw. The only important thing is why to draw. It makes me happy. And if you haven't already, I would like to invite you to join me on this challenge. It's a fun challenge, whether you're a beginner or more advanced. This is basically for everyone. And by doing this, you're practicing to embrace the wonkiness and remembering that everything is interesting when you draw it, even if you draw it many times. Today, I won't be drawing in line first, as I very often do, because that's just my go-to. I will first put down paint and then draw on top for a colorful and wonky drawing. I'm using a Stilman and Birn Beta Series sketchbook, watercolors, a flat brush, and a colored pencil. First, make sure you have enough paint to paint with. I'm choosing a bright yellow color, and I am looking at my subject and really just looking at the basic shape. So not thinking about an outline or any perspective or anything, just really seeing the still life as one big shape. Basically sort of a blob. So I'm not drawing, I'm just painting that blob. I learned this technique first from my friend Sabine Wisman, who makes very colorful art. So I did not come up with this technique myself. I'm just having lots of fun doing it. And you can add a little bit of splattering if you want. Just experiment a little bit and play. Your sketchbook is your creative playground. Now, clean your brush, and here's an extra tip. Don't put it in the cup, but on top of the cup, so that the hairs won't splay or damage when you would put them in the cup. Now, this is still a little bit damp, but I'm just going to go for it with a red pencil, because I think red and yellow are so sunny and fun. But you, of course, can come up with any color you want. You could also look at your subject, and maybe the colors of the subject will inform what color you choose. I could have chosen orange and blue, for example, because of the cup and the saucer, which I think is a really fun color combination as well. Make sure that the color that you choose for your blob is light enough to draw on top. So if you use a very dark green, it will be really hard to draw on top with another color. Also think about how you can make the color stand out. So if I would use an orange colored pencil on top of this yellow, you wouldn't really see it. So see if you can find a little bit of contrast. The bright red is really complementing and contrasting on top of the yellow. So this is also an exercise on choosing your colors. As you can see, I'm not using the blob as the right shape. The handle of the coffee maker is completely wrong in that first blob, but that's the fun thing. I am now drawing a little bit more accurate, still being playful, and sort of correcting the shapes that aren't quite right. For example, my blob shape was a little bit too broad, too wide. So I am drawing outside of the lines or drawing outside of the paint. And the mismatch of the shape of the paint and then the shape of the line give a very playful and lively effect. So for this technique, mistakes are very welcome, even though they aren't really mistakes. Wonkiness is more than welcome. So I'm working my way through the still life, deciding how much detail I want in there. And I don't need much detail to interpret this still life in this way. This technique is just a really great way to loosen up, let go of being very precise, and just make a colorful, dynamic mess. I think the spatters add life to it. And, oh, let's not forget the spoon. I hope this inspires you to also sit down with your sketchbook and draw whatever interests you. Maybe you are joining me in this challenge, which I would love. Don't forget to tag me on social media, because if you do, then I actually get to see it and I am very excited about it. So I want to see. Speaking of excitement, I'm super excited about my travel workshops that are coming up in 2025. There's quite a few coming up, and I will put a link down below in the description of this video to my workshop schedule, so you can see what's going on and maybe you can even join. I look forward to all of them, but one of them is very special because I am working with my friend Cynthia Morris, who is a very inspiring artist and writer and a creative coach. And together we are leading the workshop Capture the Lisbon Wow, which is basically an adventure through creativity in the fabulous city of Lisbon. It's kind of like a dream, and I just want you to know that I'm doing this in April 2025. Tickets are limited, so don't wait too long if you're interested. I'll put the link below this video. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because if you are joining this challenge, then you don't want to miss out on any of my videos. I will see you next week. Bye.